Ayo, what's going on, peeps? It's your boy back at it again, and today your boy is doing a tier list video. I don't think I've done one of these on the channel before, and I can't wait to do it. And what other way to bring it on than a certain show that I've just recently finished with my friends Mosquito and Lambo. It is a very popular show, a very highly praised, critically acclaimed show, and that is Breaking Bad. That's right, boys. I saw it all, bro. I think it's a great show. It's definitely up there with one of my favorite shows I've ever watched all time, bro. It's so great, bro. From the storyline to the characters to just the atmosphere, bro. Like, it was an amazing show, and I definitely recommend it to like anybody, bro. But yeah, today I'm going to be doing a tier list. I'm going to be taking every character on this tier list. There's about like 40 or 50, so I'm going to make sure to go for all these pretty quick. And yeah, I'm just going to pretty much rank them on a tier list and see how they all match up. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so up first we got Krazy 8, who was one of the cartel members. He was a big drug dealer, and he was pretty much one of the guys that Walt ended up like taking hostage before just straight up just choking him in Jesse's basement. Oh yeah, warning by the way, there's going to be spoilers in this video in case you didn't tell. So yeah, he was a pretty cool character, I'd say. I'd probably put him in the A tier. Those like moments with him and Walt in the basement, bro, were just something else, bro. Like, I can't imagine being in that situation. That was crazy. Up next, we got Jesse's dad. Let's be honest, who really cares about Jesse's dad? He did literally nothing wrong with his mother. So I'm gonna put him the D row, bro. He doesn't really matter in this series. And then we got Andrea, bro, who was like Jesse's last romantic relationship in the series. I don't even blame Jesse, bro. She was fine as hell. But man, it was a heartbreaker, bro, because Jesse had to pretty much watch her die, finding out that Andrea's like son killed, you know, his buddy Combo, bro. Like, man, bro, like, what a heartbreaker. But I think she definitely was a big pressure point for Jesse and stuff. And for this, I'm gonna put her in A tier, bro. I think she did a good job. And then we got Badger, who's pretty much the, you know, the dumb, you know, funny character of the series. It was also Jesse's friend. And, you know, he was cool. I think he definitely filled a purpose. Not one of my favorite characters, but he was funny. I'll put him in B. And then we got we got Bogdan, who was basically this like bushy eyebrow guy. Look at this eyebrows, bro. They're so bushy, bro. What is that, man? What is that? And he was pretty much the one who ran that car wash that Walt eventually bought out. Other than that, he wasn't a character that I really cared for that much. I'm gonna put him in the C row. He filled his purpose, I guess. And then we got Brock, who was one of the sons of Andrea, and it was the guy that Walt literally poisoned just to get Jesse to turn on Gus. I don't know what happened to this kid. I don't know if he died or something. Hopefully he's still around or so, bro. He wasn't really a essential character, really, but I think the way that he was used in a way, that storyline of the show where Gus was trying to get after Walt and stuff, and everyone just turned on each other, bro. Like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna put him in B, bro. I think he was a very key character during that part of the series, bro. And then we got Carmen, the principal. Wasn't really essential in the series at all. I mean, she's hot, that's for sure, but wasn't that the character that, like, Walt attempted to have a relationship with? Because, you know, Skylar was having this thing with Ted and stuff, and so he was trying to get with the principal. I'm gonna put him in D, though, because not really a important character, really. Next, we got Chow, who owned the Golden Moth company that pretty much, like, supplied chemicals for Gus and stuff. He didn't really appear, really. It was Better Call Saul. I don't know if he'll be in that series more or something, because I know that's supposed to be, like, a prequel or something. But I don't know. This guy didn't really... He kind of existed. I don't know. I'll put him in C. And then we get Chris, who is the guy that shot Chow, and he was one of like Gus's employees, but other than that, he wasn't really much of a essential character. I'll put him in C. And then we get Clovis, who's Badger's cousin that Jesse pretty much like stole an RV from. There's some funny, you know, moments in the series where he just straight up just stole the RV, but other than that, he was a decent character, I guess. I'll put him in C. And then we get Combo, who was Jesse's friend that ended up getting killed by Thomas, you know, future lover Andrea's like 11-year-old son, bro. This was definitely the start of like many like twists in the series, bro. Like, because who would have expected that? That's so tragic, bro. You know, I'm gonna put him in the B row. I think he was definitely much of a pawn, I'd say, in what would eventually become a crazy amount of twists. And then we got Cynthia, the Los Polos manager, who's really just a manager, bro. Not really essential, to be honest. I'll put him in D row. And then we got Dan, who was pretty much Mike's lawyer. He was like a Gus employee that they just wanted murdered for some reason. I don't know. I didn't really see him as much of an interesting character. I'll put him in D. And then we got Declan, who was like a meth distributor, and he was pretty much like the main competition with Gus. And he tried to continue like the meth business after Walt retired, but practically failed and ended up just getting shot regardless. So I'll put him in B row. And then we got Dennis, who was pretty much helped out Gus by like disguising his like whole laundry business as like this like normal business, but underneath the surface it was secretly a meth super lab. So yeah, I'll put him in C row because I think he did his part. Up next we got Jesse's mom, who was literally the same as Jesse's dad, bro. Nothing special at all. And then we get Barry Goodman, who was I guess Gus's doctor. I don't even really know this person. I'll just put him in the D row. I don't really care for him. And then we get an interesting character right here. We get Don, practically just the cartel boss. He was a big part of, you know, Gus's backstory, sparing Gus's life at this pool area, but ended up just having his partner, like, Max killed anyway. But years later, Gus ended up getting his revenge and killing Don and practically the entire cartel at that same pool place. It's a great way of revenge, and I think that Don definitely played the character very well, just this wealthy guy who practically had it all. I think I'm gonna put him in I like this character. I'll put him in the A row. Call me crazy. Up next we got Donald, who was Jane's dad, bro. This has got to be easily one of the most tragic characters in the entire series, man. This guy just went through pain. He was just a part of this like this sequence of events that just led to just worse and worse things. First, he met with Walt at that bar, found out that his daughter died, which was also Walt's fault, and he ended up just going to work the next day, got distracted by the tragicness of that death, and just caused two planes to just collide. Practically got fired for that reason. Those like planes just rained over the White House especially, which eventually just led to, you know, Walt and Skylar's first falling out as like a couple. Tragic character, man, and deserved so much better. I'll put him in the A row, bro. Genuinely feel bad for him. Poor guy. And then we get Gomi, who was like Hank's partner in the DAA, right hand man in that, you know, Heisenberg case, stood by his side literally just until their own deaths at that final, you know, shootout scene, bro. I think he's an example of just a good friend, you know. If there's something to take away from his character, bro, he was just a good friend. I'm gonna put in the B row. And then we get Walt. I mean, S, literally. I think Walt is genuinely the greatest character in the series, to the shocker of no one. I think this character, the man who acted behind it, just excellent, bro. Excellent character. I could probably go for so long just talking about Walt, bro. Genuinely one of the greatest, like, villains, heroes, I don't know what you'd call him, of this, like, TV realm, bro. He is just great. Just the full package, man. I think it's so cool that he was, like, part of, like, one of my other favorite series of all time, The X-Files, bro. He had like an entire episode to himself, bro, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason that he even got discovered in the first place. He got discovered by the director, and eventually, you know, Breaking Bad happened, man, and I think that's awesome. So yeah, Walt, great character, greatest of all time, man. And then we get Walt's doctor. Let's be honest, nobody cares. Like, who cares? No one. And then we get Ed the Dissapearer, who's practically like this vacuum cleaner disguised as like this person who was offering others like new lives and like a getaway and just like new identities. He was able to make people disappear in a way, you know. That's pretty much how Walt just went to like New Hampshire, I think. He just disappeared in like some cabin. He probably could have gotten away with it, but you know, Walt's dedicated. He just wanted to go back to his family and get his family back together. It's a very cool idea. I'll put him in B. We got Elliott, who is practically like this rich friend of Walt who just wanted to pay for his cancer, but Walt refused to, but ended up just claiming Elliott did anyway, just to cover up the fact that he was paying all of his money and cancer off with drugs. He's a cool, I'll put him in B. And then we get Amino, who was Jesse's like old partner, the right hand man of Krazy 8. Practically thought that Jesse was like ratting him out because he ended up just getting arrested and eventually just broke out somehow because logic, and they would just attempt to kill Jesse and Walt, but Walt, being the big brain he is, trapped them in an RV with phosphane gas, killing them and then dissolving them with hydrofluoric acid. Yeah, so if you're interested in this show, feel free. I'm gonna put him in the A row. I liked him. Good character. And then we get Francesca, who was just Saul's secretary. Let's be honest, who cares? D. Fran, who was just literally a waitress who like appeared probably like 2 times in this show. D row. I don't care. Sponge? I don't know, bro. I don't know what you call him. I remember the episode that he was from, bro. It was crazy. He was just like this drug addict who was living in this like terrible home, like infested, and had this like wife who was just always getting high. They had a son, bro. He was a terrible father. My God, how do you live in that space, bro? And he ended up just getting crushed by like this ATM that he was trying to steal out of by his own wife after calling her a skank, respectfully so. I'll put him in B row. Okay, now we get to Gaff. He was the right-hand man of Don and was also a hitman. I don't remember him that well. I get the feeling he was probably a good character for the most part, so I'm gonna put him in the B row. And then we get Gale, who is like this chemist who was hired by Gus to like set up this underground meth lab. And he also, you know, assisted Walt for a while Jesse was just kind of out of action, really. He ended up getting killed by Jesse, who was then traumatized for life because of it. I'm gonna put him in the B row. And then we get Gonzo, who was one of Tuco's most trusted lieutenants in the cartel. He was that fat guy, basically. He existed. I'll put him in C row. And then we get Gretchen, who was the wife of Elliott, Walt's friend. She existed, I guess. I'm gonna put her in C row. And then we got Jesse's like rehab group leader. Let's be honest, does anyone care? He kind of looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. D row. And then we get Gus. Gus is so goated, bro. He was like this like secret drug distributor having the most successful drug operation till Walt ran like this chicken place, Los Polos, until his like sweet death where, you know, the truth about him really comes out. This guy has like so many bodies on him, bro. It's unbelievable. He has at least like probably 50 deaths under his name, which is just insane. This guy is a goated character, bro. Like genius, bro. Hank, bro. Hank is definitely one of the best characters in the series. One of the best actors as well, bro. He played his character really well. Walt, you're looking kind of sus. Yeah, great character. I'll put him in S. This guy was easily one of the best like fighters in the show, bro. Bro was going off, bro. Bro knew how to use a gun, and he just seems like a likable guy overall. So yeah, easy S. And then we get Hector. I really like this character. I really like Hector. Like, he's this guy who's just like in a wheelchair, you know, disabled, can't say anything. Bro, when he sees Gus, oh man, mad beef. And after like so long of trying to get his revenge, bro, he finally gets the opportunity when he's practically kills himself along with Gus and Tyrus in that hospital bombing. Yeah, man, he finally gets his revenge from all the BS he got put through. He's also the guy with that bell, which is legendary. So I'm gonna put him in A. I really like the character. And then we get Holly, who I know not a lot of people probably think she's a great character. I mean, it's literally a baby, but here's what my point is. I think that Holly was a good pressure point for the White family, because like when everything was going wrong and they were arguing, Holly was always the character that like brought this kind of like peace and stuff, because he didn't want Holly to grow up in this like environment and such. Yeah, I think it was a good idea to introduce something like this to just be like a interesting way to calm things down, really. That's all I'll say. Then we get Huell, who's just the funny big guy who just like straight up laid on Walt's drug money in that one scene. Other than that, he just kind of just got questioned by Hank about Walt's whereabouts. He was cool. I'll put him in B. And then we get Hyra, the founder of like Varmos Pest. He helped White kind of set up this whole secret drug operation where they use many people's houses, I'm pretty sure, as like their way to cook. Overall, I'll put him in C. Actually, maybe B. He did his thing. And then we get Uncle Jack, and let me tell you, bro, this guy, I think this guy is definitely up there with the most evil people on the show, bro. This guy just showed no mercy to anybody. He did not care. He was willing to just murder anyone. And yeah, this guy's a literal Nazi, and he was pretty much the last gang that Walt had any like ties with. But I think that he was a great character, despite just being like an awful person. I don't know if I want to put him in S, but I'll put him like very high A. I really respect the character. No, I don't. I don't respect the character. That character's awful, but like the way it was played out, bro, great. And then we got, oh man, Jane. Despite not being like the best character, bro, definitely one of the finest characters, bro. Jesse, man, lucky muff. I'll put him in B. I don't care, bro. I think the way that she was played out to be this like character that just broke Jesse, bro, upon her death, bro, just broke. She was trying to be sober, but eventually she just got back into it and ended up just killing herself because of it. Walt could have saved her, obviously, but Really tragic, man. Speaking of Jesse, we get Jesse Pinkman. Literally, GOAT. So goated, bro. Great actor. Great character work. The only one that really survived by the end of the series, honestly. Like, everyone else in this, like, S section just passed, man. I can't wait to see what happens in El Camino and see how he fares and such. Even though he's kind of an idiot for, like, screwing his life up with all those drugs and parties, bro was, you know, a very essential character in the series, that's for sure. Okay, up next we got Old Joe, who's pretty much the guy who destroyed that RV to cover up some evidence of drugs. He existed. D. We get Walt Jr., Finn. I honestly thought that Walt Jr., great character. While, you know, he was annoying, but he was also very funny at the same time. But he's also another very tragic character because he never knew what was going on, bro. He was practically lied to so much by his, like, father and mother and stuff. Like, he didn't know what to believe, bro. And honestly, I don't even blame him, bro. Great character. Put him in A tier. And then we get Bolsa, who is the co-founder of the cartel, who pretty much just got snitched on by Gus. I didn't really know much about him. I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Maybe this is a hot take. I don't know. I didn't really care for him. And then we get this, like, detective Colin Cho or something. I don't know how to pronounce his damn name. He was one of the guys who, like, interrogated Jesse about his, like, ties with Walt and stuff. I guess he filled his role. He existed. I'll put him in C tier, I guess. And then we get Kaylee. That was the daughter of Mike, bro. Poor little girl, bro. She probably don't know nothing about what was going on with him, man. I hope she got a bag, that's for sure. I'll put her in C. It was definitely like a pressure point for, you know, the series. And then we get Kenny, who was a member of Jack's gang, who was a literal Nazi. He filled his role. I'll put him in B. And then we get QB, who was that truck driver who, like, broke down on the railroad track. He was pretty much like this distraction that allowed Walt, Jesse, and Mike to be able to, like, rob this train for gallons of meth. Despite not being very important, I think he filled his role. I'll put him in B. And then we get Lawson, who was just like this gun dealer who sold Walt a gun. Honestly, I don't care. D row. Then we get Lionel, who was one of the cousins and hitman of Don. Some of us call the biker gang. Menace, really. I think both characters were pretty fire, honestly. I liked the way they were played into as, like, these guys that you just feared their presence. Just feared, bro. That's all I, like, really saw him as, bro. Yeah, I'll definitely put him in A tier. And then we get Lester, who is one of the literal Nazis of the show. This one, I don't really care for that much. I'll put him in C. He existed. And then we got Lydia, who I know people probably don't like as much. Probably saw her as really annoying, but she was like a supplier of meth. Supplied it to Gus, and then Walt, and then Jack, and she pretty much almost gets herself killed in, like, every single episode. But honestly, bro, hot take, I really like the character. It's a tie between, like, A and B, honestly. Because I don't know. I think she's like a high B for me, huh? And then we get Marie. I have really mixed thoughts on Marie. I think that she is just super annoying. Just straight up steals stuff for no reason. But yeah, she just has an attitude, bro. She became a lot more important towards, you know, the 4th and 5th season. So, I'll put her in the B row. And then we get Matt, who is another member of Jack's gang, C row. And then we get George, who was one of the DEA guys. He was like the assistant special agent in charge. He was the boss of, like, Hank and Steve, and he ended up just getting his position, like, taken from him once Gus got exposed. I guess he had ties with him or something. I'll put him in C. And then we get Mike, who, I don't know why his character just doesn't show at all here, but Mike is goated, bro. I'm trying to think of this now. Who would win in a standoff? This guy or Hank, bro? Because, like, this guy was able to detect that there was a guy, like, behind a wall. Straight up just shot him. Definitely up there with one of the best gunmen in the show, and also just a great character overall. Also a very tragic character. He ended up just kind of getting killed for no reason, honestly. Why did Walt kill him? Like, one of the other detectives that, like, interrogated Jesse. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. D. And then we get Nick. He was part of, like, Gus's security team. He was notable for being the guy who just got shot in the head by, like, some sniper rifle. It was part of that scene where Gus practically was just, like, walking through, like, gunshots being fired. Super sick scene, but I don't know, it just seemed like a filler character. D. And then we get No Doze, who was, like, the head lieutenant for Tuco, and he was also the guy who ended up just getting his, like, ass kicked by Tuco. So yeah, I'll put him in, like, C row. And then we get Camilla Ordick, Skylar's divorce lawyer. Let's be honest, kind of a waste of time because the divorce didn't even happen. It failed, like it literally failed. So I'm going to put her in D. Rob Fornell, who was like this warehouse guy who I believe just got like killed or something. I don't care. D. Austin Ramy, who was like the head of the DA. Not really the most interesting character, really. Put him in C. Oh, and then we get, I'm so excited to watch Better Call Saul, bro. This guy deserved a show. This guy was a great actor. Saul Goodman, bro. S tier, bro. He's already one of my favorite characters overall, but I can see him in like his own show just being one of my favorite characters ever, man. Up next, we got Saxton, who was like this cop that pretty much came to Skylar's house after he called. Why is he in here? D. I don't care. All right, then we get Skinny Pete, who was one of Jesse's longtime best friends along with Badger. He was pretty much the guy that Walt hired to pose as like one of the best hitmen in the West during one of the last scenes of the show where tried to intimidate Elliott. I thought he was a pretty good character, honestly. I definitely put him up there with Badger. And then we get Skylar White, who is one of the most like confused characters in the series. Like, I swear, bro, this chick just didn't know what to think. Her like opinions were just changing left and right. Didn't know whether to trust Walt at all. Suddenly they trust each other. Like, I don't know. It was such a confusing mess of a character, but I also really like her. I think she's great. Fair share of like embarrassing scenes, and I mean embarrassing, bro. Like, some of those were just so hard to watch, man. Stephanie, it was pretty much the lady that caught Marie slipping that one time when she was trying to steal, like, it was like some tiara or something, but I don't know. She was just kind of a filler character, honestly. D. Then we get Ted. Oh man, God, I hate Ted, bro. I hate Ted, but the way that he was used during this was pretty good. Put him in C, honestly. I definitely, while I don't like him, I definitely respect what he brought to the series. And then we get Tim Roberts, who was like Hank's PD. He was like this APA detective and homicide investigator who, I don't really remember this guy, honestly. I'll put him in just C, honestly. We get Todd. Hate Todd, man. He's so ugly. Definitely the most clapped person in the series, bro. He was so ugly. I will say, as a character, he did his job, bro. He made himself as unlikable as possible, and I gotta respect it. I'll put him in B. And then we get Thomas, bro, who's generally just like a tragic character once again. Imagine being like this 11-year-old kid and you're getting forced into a gang without much control of what you want to do, and you just have to forcefully just kill people, bro. He was also, you know, the son of Andrea, being the one that killed Combo. And yeah, man, it's just like the fact that there's like kids like this in real life, bro, is genuinely sad. The people that like manipulate these like young kids and these gangs, bro, like, you're a terrible person, bro. Like, you're terrible, man. And it's sad that he had to just die just like that by the hands of Gus, man. I'll put him in B. Sad character. And then we get Tortuga, who didn't really like appear in the series that much, but he definitely left an impact on Hank, that's for sure. Tortuga was killed, and then he got his head placed on top of like this tortoise, which eventually just exploded and traumatized Hank for life, and also injured and killed many of his like buddies and stuff. I'll put him in the C row. He was cool for what it was. And then we get Tuco. This man was just evil. He was like the drug kingpin of the cartel. He was like the first person that Walt was doing business with in the first place. And it all just went wrong by season 2, bro. And we also got to experience like a great shootout between him and Hank, bro, which Hank obviously won because he's like crazy. But yeah, I think this guy was a great character. I think he played his role really well. I put him in A tier. And then we get Cyrus. I know a lot of people will hype up Cyrus and stuff, but honestly, I kind of just saw him as another, you know, another guy of Gus's, really. He was cool, but he was just, I think he filled his role, that's for sure. I'll put him in B. And then we get Victor, who is more of like a henchman to Gus in a way. And he was also the guy that ended up getting his like throat slit by Gus, bro. Oh my God, what a horrifying scene that was. That was like insane. I'll put him in C. And then we get Wendy, who, God, she was disgusting, bro. I'm pretty sure that this was the first like love interest that Jesse had. And she was like this complete crackhead. I don't know what happened with her, but man, she's in a rough situation, bro. Like, her teeth, bro, disgusting. I don't know how Jesse hit that, I'll be honest, but I feel like she could have been used a lot more. I'll put her in the D. Definitely like top of D, that's for sure. But yeah, that is my tier list, folks. There's probably gonna be a few disagreements, I bet, but I think this is probably the best I'm gonna come up with, really. I will do one for Better Call Saul once I finish that show. If you want me to do more, leave a like and subscribe. Trying out different content on the channel to see what works. I'll see y'all next time, folks. Peace.